So next I'm going to talk about the guests at the park. So the difference that we saw between the people around us. I feel Disney World is a place where you go for a holiday. A holiday is in like you're there for a week or two. Disneyland is a place where people from LA go, let's go to Disneyland for the day.
This weekend, yeah.
So I felt like Disney World, the guests are more, they love Disney more.
That's what I felt like from somewhere.
Yeah.
Just to go to
Disney, just to pay and to spend a holiday at Disney. So I feel like the people there are more, they're more into it. They are there for Disney. They have just poured in thousands of dollars, most likely, for this trip. They are there for Disney, and that is the only reason they're there. Maybe also to go to Universal, but they're majorly there for Disney. Whereas Disneyland, yes, of course, people there love Disney, and it's the original park, but I didn't feel like you had those Disney-loving freaks that I saw at Disney World, or that people weren't as excited. I didn't feel like. I
think it's just like obviously it's more locals, but people traveling, especially from overseas like us, like you go, oh, I want to go to LA and here or in America, and I feel like people don't go to LA to go to Disneyland. They go, oh, let's go to LA, and they do like, you know, Hollywood and stuff, and they go, oh, Disneyland's here, why don't we go there?
Disneyland.
They don't plan their trip to go to LA because unless they are really passionate, like, oh, I have to go to the original, they might, but there's much less of that at Disneyland than there is at Disney World.
That's how I felt too. Characters. So characters at Disney World, you pretty much have to book a time almost, get a fast pass, which I'll go on to fast passes soon, or line up, and it's quite long. Whereas at Disney World, apparently, I'm only saying apparently because it didn't happen to us. Sorry, at Disneyland. At Disneyland, apparently, the characters are just walking around. Now I'm saying apparently because when I was there,
we didn't see it.
I didn't see any characters walking around. I saw characters with a queue, and I kept thinking I was going to walk past and, hey, there's Mickey Mouse, like, hey Mickey, and oh, hey Woody, or, you know, I thought I would be literally just walking past characters as they walked around. That didn't happen when we were there. I don't know if we were there on a busy weekend. Well, it was really busy the weekend we were there.
You know, it was probably because it was Valentine's Day as well.
Yeah, it was. But a lot of people said that's the one thing we love about Disneyland is the characters just walking around. We didn't get that, so
we can't really.
We can't compare with that.
Yeah.
You wait in queues and you visit characters. That's pretty much.
We felt like it was pretty much the same. If you wanted to meet people at Disneyland, you just line up in queue. The only difference was you couldn't book a fast pass for it.
Yeah. One thing that actually really annoyed me about Disneyland was I'm leaving the park at night with my family, and I look to the right of me, and this girl is dressed in her Haunted Mansion gear. Clearly she works at Disney, but she is dressed still in her Haunted Mansion gear. Now I'm sorry, I thought Disney would be a little bit more like magical in the fact that you wouldn't see the workers like leaving the park. We even have a rule here, if you work at McDonald's in Australia, you cannot leave work in your uniform or go to work in your uniform. You have to be wearing a different shirt or a jumper covering up the logo. You can't be dressed. And I just felt very weird that Disneyland wouldn't incorporate that rule. I know workers have got to go home, they've got to catch the bus, etc, etc, but to me it just felt weird. I'm standing there next to some chick from the Haunted Mansion and a toy from Andy's room, and I was like, you guys should be back in the park. You know, I thought Disney would, that would be a rule. You wouldn't be able to leave work in full uniform. Like, you should have to change. Understandable, makeup and hair's a bit hard to change.
Yeah.
But you should have to change out of uniform or try and cover it up. I didn't like that I was just walking out with the workers, because at Disney World, they just appear. The workers are just there. They're there to work. You don't see them walk anywhere, especially Magic Kingdom, because they have the tunnel system, which is great and was good forward thinking for Disney when he thought to build the new park.
Yeah, which Disney World was his dream in a way.
I think it was his improvement of Disneyland.
Yeah, he built Disneyland, and once he realised, wow, this is done so well, you know, I'm gonna make another one, but I'm gonna make sure everything's right.
It's perfect. That's
so
how I take Disney World. Disney World was his improvement on Disneyland. Not saying Disneyland is bad. It's his first park. It is a great park.
He obviously didn't have the money as well.
He still loved Disneyland. I'm not going to take that away from anybody who loves Disneyland. But why would you create something bigger and better? Clearly he was trying to fix some of the things he realized, okay, I can do this better. I can make
having his own bit of land where no one else could buy.
So that's my point. A big point between the two would be that. And also it just really annoys me that the workers could leave work in their uniform.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I did not like that at all. That's got to change. So it's Disneyland. One thing that I love about Disney World, I'm a little bit biased, and I think that's because everybody's biased to the park they first go to. I went to Disney World first. So, sorry, that's my phone. I went to Disney World first, so to me, I prefer Disney World. And this is another big reason why I prefer Disney World. They invented magic bands. I didn't get to experience it till this year, and they were the greatest things ever. But not only magic bands, the fact that I could book my fast passes and really plan out, like days in advance, what I wanted to do. And I'm a planner. Yeah. I love planning. I sort of like, not to the T, but I like knowing that, hey, I've got a fast pass for Hollywood Tower Hotel at this time, Rock and Roller at this time, and Toy Story at this time. So then I know around all those other times I can do other things. I can sit down and do nothing if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
But at those times, they're the times I know I'm going to get on those rides. Disneyland, it's still the paper-based system. You still have to run to the ride, get your ticket, which is the case for the Radiator Springs. You literally have to run there straight up in the morning. That is the first one to sell out. And then you go back at the time. But you can probably get more than 3 at Disneyland and Disney World. You can
we never really did it because
at Disney World you do have the option, once you use your 3, you can go to a kiosk and book more in, but obviously the popular rides are already gone for that day, and you're pretty much stuck with like the lesser rides. But still, I'm not saying like they're less, but they're probably the queue's like 5 minutes anyway, so like what's the point?
Yeah.
But that is one thing that I definitely prefer at Disney World, and that's mainly because I'm a planner. If you don't like planning, you just like wandering and walking in, you might prefer Disneyland. I prefer Disney World because I can plan it.
Apparently also at Disney World, I'm not sure if it's true, but they're going to be getting rid of the fast pass kiosks. So basically everything will be on your phone. So if you have used your 3 fast passes for the day, you don't have to go to a kiosk to get an extra one. You can just do it on your phone. So that's pretty cool too, because
another thing, so while we were there, I'm not sure if it was busy or Disneyland was just not working, but their app is terrible. I would walk up to a ride, it was zero accuracy. 0 at Disneyland. Disney World, if it said 20 minutes and then I finally got to ride, it said 20 minutes, they always matched up. I didn't have to worry. Whereas Disneyland, I was like telling my family, yeah, Disney World, we used the app and it was great. And then we're using the app and we get to the ride that we thought was only 15 minutes and it says 90. And we're like, what? And I'm like refreshing, I'm going, no, it's only 15. Completely off. Has anybody else had that experience with the apps? Was it just the weekend we were there? I'm not sure. Were they really busy and they couldn't handle it? I don't know. Let me know below. Does the Disneyland app actually work? Because it didn't for us. It was a bit of a letdown because we relied on that a lot at Disney World. And the fact that we had free Wi-Fi made it better. So, yeah, definitely. Once again, we're planners. I like being able to look at an app and knowing where to go.
I think as well, because we're coming from overseas and it's such a big trip for us, we have to save probably a lot more money instead of people in America who maybe don't because they're already in America. Yeah. And because we have to save so much money and book in advance, like we probably booked over a year and a half in advance.
Nearly 2 years ago we booked.
Yeah, nearly 2 years for our trip. So because Disney World, you can go on and 160 days before, 180 days before, you can book dining
but
you can do fast passes a certain amount of days before. It was more fun because we got to plan stuff in the 2 years, and it wasn't just like a big wait for us.
But then not only that, we could really plan to get everything done that we needed to get done because I know I'm not going back probably for another 2 years unless somebody wants to lend me a spare 50 kg and my work give me more time off. That is the only way I'm gonna get back there. I'm not fortunate enough to live in America or Canada, because Canadians, it's really not that far for them to get there, or the UK, who get these bloody great deals that Australia don't get. Thanks for that, Disney. Which I don't understand, but whatever.
Yeah.
The UK get these great deals, and we get, you have to pay full price, and your dollar rate is shit right now.
Yeah.
So moving along to our Disneyland versus Disney World differences. Another difference would be the night show. I'm only going to compare Magic Kingdom, obviously, and Disneyland. I'll mention California Adventure, and I'll mention my overall favourite nighttime show I've ever seen. I'm sure you'll mention that too. So at Disney World, we'll start there first. You have I always forget the name of the projection show at Magic Kingdom.
Oh yeah, it's something, isn't it Dreams?
I always forget it. It's cool. The projections go up on the castle. Like, the way they do it is spot on. And then they have wishes. Wishes.
Yeah.
And the fireworks go off, and it's like, oh my god, it's so magical. And then we went to Disneyland, and we saw theirs.
And it was really great.
I love Disney World. I'm sorry, Disney World. But I prefer Disneyland, and I think it's because we stood in Main Street, mainly because I looked, well not looked, but I read reviews and saw other YouTube videos, and people said stand in Main Street, and I was like, okay, we're gonna stand, and I ran out, we got a good spot, and then I could see why. So they project everything on to the sides of Main Street, onto like the facade of the building, and a little bit on the castle, not as much as
yeah.
Disney World, which I like it because when you're in Main Street, I felt more part of what was happening because it was literally on the wall right next to me. I wasn't like really far away from the castle. Even if you're close to the castle, it still feels like you're not part of it. Like, it's nice.
Yeah.
But I felt more part of it, and then it snowed and the fireworks.
Yeah. And I also like the spotlights in LA. I think they made the show look really cool as well. So it just added something to the show, which I thought
I liked that.
Made it probably a bit better than Disney World.
So definitely preferred the Disneyland compared to Magic Kingdom nighttime show. I think it was better. It just felt nicer. I felt more part of it. The only thing I don't like is it got cancelled on the other night we were there because it was too windy. And I hear that happens a lot at Disneyland, but it doesn't happen as much at Disney World because they have so much property, there's nothing else really around them if it's windy, I guess. So I think it doesn't get cancelled as much at Disney World as does Disneyland, so that's a bit of a bummer. So it did get cancelled, but we were so lucky the next night it went ahead, thank Lord, because that was amazing. We went and saw Paint the Night. Paint the Night? Paint the Night?
No, it's
Paint.
No, that's the name of the parade.
That's the name of the parade. Colour. World of Colour.
World of Colour, that's it.
We went and saw World of Colour over at California Adventure, and
it was good.
That was my opinion of it. That was it.
I did like it, but it wasn't
mainly
the best
because we didn't get fast passes, or we didn't eat at a certain restaurant. We couldn't get really good seating, so the only way I could see what was happening was looking through my camera viewfinder by holding my camera up like this, and that was how I saw the show. And which is weird, right? Because it shoots up really high, but I couldn't see, and we got there an hour early. So even getting there an hour early just wasn't enough. But I didn't find it amazing.
I think people, I don't know, from what I'd heard, it was like people made it seem like there was just really
people hyped it up,
yeah,
more than what it actually was.
And I was like, oh wow,
me.
you know, that's cool. They don't have that at Disney World. That's gonna be so cool to see. And I went and saw it, and I was like, that was cool, but
I wouldn't see it again.
Wasn't what I expected.
I'd rather go line up and go on some rides while that was on and get on some quick fast lines than.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. Other people might really love it. It wasn't my fave. So my favourite show out of all parks,
like Disneyland
or Disney World, it's only, and I'm gonna be completely brutally honest. It's mainly because John Williams was playing in the background, and when I hear John Williams music, that's it, I'm done. It's the best thing of my life. That would be the Star Wars fireworks at Hollywood Studios. But I also felt like they're the best fireworks display I've ever seen Disney put on.
I don't know if it's just because the music made it feel
I feel like the music made it better.
The fireworks were really good, and even the ending, like, they just let off so many fireworks. Like, the ground was shaking. It was just so fun.
You felt the fireworks. You didn't just see the fireworks.
It was really
You felt
good.
it. So that is my absolute favourite But if I obviously had to choose between the main Disney World Wishes or Disneyland, I forget the name of it, I would have to choose Disneyland.
Yeah.
But my favourite overall
Castle
nighttime
shows.
show is the Star Wars
one, which
And
they
what are
only
yours?
had for a limited time.
Yeah, I think it's, oh well, it's still on now while I'm talking to you about this, but I don't know how much longer it's on.
Yeah.
And your favourite nighttime
Well,
show?
I agree. Out of all of them, would have been the Star Wars because I don't know, it just made you feel something
I
different.
nearly cried.
Like
You've
when
gotta
I
think-
first saw Wishes, obviously I was like, oh
I
my god, I
cried when I
cried.
first saw
I felt,
Wishes.
but when I saw that, I was like, that's made me feel something I haven't felt before. Like I don't
how
know,
to
it was
explain
hard
it.
to explain. It
It's
was
so
just
weird.
amazing. Like
Yeah.
yeah, you were crying. I was like, what just happened? I couldn't believe it. I was
When you leave a nighttime show and you just go, what just happened in my
Yeah,
life? You know that they've done a good job, and
It
that
was-
only happened at, well, it did happen at Disneyland because it was my
Yeah.
first time, and at the
I did like.
Star Wars fireworks. But now we're just going to quickly talk about overall vibe. So obviously main differences between the two. Disney World, you have people going there vacationing from around the world. They are there for a week, 2 weeks. I don't know, maybe you've got some crazy people who can afford to stay 3 weeks. I wish I could. I can't, but that would be amazing. You have people who are there just for Disney.
Also.
Disneyland, you've got some people who are there who've just come in, but it's more annual pass holders that actually visit
Yeah.
Disneyland, whereas it's flipped
Not
at Disney
tourists,
World.
yeah.
So I think it's 70% of annual pass holders at Disneyland are like locals. It's flipped over at Disney World. 70% are outside tourists.
Yeah. And then there's
So that is a big difference. Another big difference, Disney World is massive. You've got
Yeah.
4 parks, you've got 2 water parks, you have a whole downtown district. I'm still going to call it Downtown Disney, but it's changed
Yeah.
to Disney Springs.
Also on that note, so at Disney World as well, they have so many more, obviously because of the space, they have so many more hotels and resorts, and there's different levels, value, moderate and deluxe. So people, if you don't have much money, they can still afford to stay at a Disney resort while they're at Disney and enjoy the theming and
The real Disney experience.
have that full Disney experience. Whereas when we went to LA, we looked at staying at one of the Disney resorts.
$400 a night.
Yeah, there was no way.
Oh, wait,
So-
I just want to know, who can afford that? Who can afford to stay at Disneyland Resort?
Yeah.
Please comment below. Do you somehow find magical savings? Do Americans get savings? Do
Maybe
you
they
get
do.
money off? Because for us, it was $400, and I was like, no, I'm going to stay at the place across the road for $100 a
Whereas
night.
at Disney World, we could afford to stay at a moderate resort, and well, actually, we got to stay one night at a
Value, as you saw.
value before we went on a cruise. So we got to experience that, and the theming was amazing. And we got to catch the Disney buses, and that just made it cool. And then we also got to stay at a moderate, so we got to experience another Disney resort, and that was still only $100 and something a night.
$150, $160.
Yeah, and like so that's like deluxe obviously is very expensive,
Obviously,
but then
someone can afford that.
then it caters for people who do want to spend a bit more. So yeah, being able to stay at a Disney resort is a big
Disney, yeah, so
difference.
Disneyland, can you just buy out someone around you and just make a value resort so the rest of us can afford to stay
Yeah.
there? Because as much as I liked the hotel I stayed at, like there was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, it was really good. It wasn't Disney.
It
though.
wasn't Disney, and I would have actually really liked to stay at a Disney resort, but I can't afford to stay at the Disneyland resorts. And I know a lot of other people have commented on this, and the lucky people who do splurge, which by all means splurge. If I had money
Yeah.
and somebody said to me, or they might even say, Ali, I'm going to pay for you to stay at Disneyland resort, I'd be like, oh,
Thanks.
hallelujah. But I doubt that's going to happen because, you know, I could pretty much stay 4 nights somewhere else for the price of one
Yeah.
night. So I don't know, what am I going to take? 1 night at Disneyland or 4 nights?
Yeah.
Take 4 nights and stay at the cheap place across the road. So that's another thing you might want to consider. If you want the full Disney experience, I think
Yeah.
you're going to get it more
So I
at
think
Disney.
that's to do more with space, but
Definitely to do more with space, but
Yeah.
still it's just like, why can't they make, I think they have 3. They have 3 resorts. No, because they've got the Grand Californian, the hotel, and Paradise Pier Hotel.
Yeah.
So I think there is 3, but they're all really pricey.
Yeah.
They're not.
We looked all of them up and we couldn't afford to stay there. So.
I'm not a millionaire.
And we also didn't, I guess, yeah, we weren't willing to spend like that, they were pretty much...
By that point, it was the end of our holiday. We
Yeah.
weren't willing to spend that much per night. We didn't spend that much per night anywhere else. The cruise was cheaper than what it would have been to stay the 4 nights at Disneyland. And that's ridiculous. We went on a 7-night cruise. Ridiculous.
They
so
were pretty much like deluxe in Disney World.
Yeah,
so
because of that, we didn't really get to eat the food at Disneyland. I pretty much just ate, like I did eat, but like I didn't eat any of the restaurants, so I can't compare food for you. I'm sure it's the same. I can't compare restaurants. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we didn't really know
get
many of the restaurants.
Well, I did. Like, I would have liked to eat, I think it's the Blue Bayou. I think that's in the Pirates Caribbean right at Disneyland. I would have loved to eat there, but we just didn't. We
didn't have time
to take away food and whatever we could quickly eat and run and go. I've forgotten this, and this video has gone for an hour, and I'm really sorry, but I really wanted to mention it because it's just come to mind, and I have to mention it because it made me hate. Yep, I said hate Disneyland a little bit. And it was the monorail. So, we lined up to get on the monorail. It's like 5-minute wait for the monorail. I was like, shit, cool. We're gonna go on the monorail. I understood that the monorail only had 2 stops at Disneyland. It stops at Tomorrowland and it stops at Downtown Disney. That is it. Unlike Disney World, the monorail isn't really for in the park. It's for getting to the park.
It's another means of transport,
and also the transport between Epcot and Magic Kingdom, and to get to the car park and whatever. So I knew that, but I was really excited to go on the monorail. So the sign literally said 5 minutes, and we walk up the stairs, like up the winding thing. We get to the top and we wait. There's like
we weren't at the top. We actually had to stand in the sun.
No. We weren't at the top, but we're at the top outside, and we were on the last corner to the top. If you've been there, you'll understand what I mean.
We're just above the submarine.
We were out in the sun. We just missed the monorail. And we stand there, and it's 15 minutes, I swear. It took 15 minutes for the monorail to come back around. We didn't make that one. We then make it to the front gate. We're like, yes, we're at the gate. No, sorry, you can't go on. You've got to wait for the next one. We then wait another 15, 20 minutes. Meanwhile, it's out in the sun. It was about 38 degrees that day.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Go look it up. It was bloody hot, okay? And Disneyland, in all of its infinite wisdom, said, we're only going to run 1 monorail today.
Yeah.
Okay, Disneyland. It made me so angry. I waited
and especially because the wait time was wrong too.
Yeah, it told me 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden, once I was in the queue and people queued up behind me, I didn't want to get out of the queue.
Yeah.
Like, I was there. I was committed to riding the goddamn monorail, and then I got on. It's not aircon. It's just hot. And then we just get off at Downtown Disney, and I didn't see anything, and I was like, because they weren't letting people do full loops, you had to get off.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, my battery's dying and everything's done. We're talking for too long. Quickly finish that. So the monorail at Disneyland sucks. Do not ride it. It's the worst thing ever. It might be nice and prettier than the ones at Disney World, but I hated it. That was the worst experience of my life, and I'll never, ever, ever ride that Disneyland monorail again. Didn't even get to do a full loop and see the goddamn park. Oh, I was pissed. I was pissed. It was hot. I was pissed off. I was hungry. Hadn't eaten anything. I didn't have any water on me because we weren't going to be in the park for that long, and we thought, oh, we'll just do the monorail before we leave. An hour later,
we had like 1 bag of chips and we all shared it.
That made me angry. Wrapping this up, I prefer Disney World to Disneyland. Sorry, Disneyland lovers. Same for you?
I just feel like if you, even though you say generally it's you prefer to like, you tend to like the first one you go to. For me though, I just feel like if I was going to give advice to someone like one of my friends who's never been to any of them, I would say you get your money's worth going to Disney. Even though from Australia you'd have to travel more flights wise, there's so much more to do there. You get to experience, like if you could only go once in your life, I told my friends, if you can only afford to go once, go to Disney World, because you get to see so much more. There's 4 parks, there's a shopping district, there's 20 hotels to choose from. Yeah, 2 water parks. You can do what you want to do. Even if you can't stay, you're going to stay a week and you wouldn't get to do all of it. You know, you get to choose what you want to do, and it's not, it's more of a holiday. It's, I don't know.
Yeah. I loved Disneyland because it is the original, and I teared up when I saw his office, and you know, they have the light on, and I know that Walt Disney walked in that park as it was finished, not at Disney World. Little things like that, I was like, this is beautiful, and I feel a part of something. But I think if you're going to get more value for money at Disney World, which is weird saying because you sort of have to pay Well, you don't really pay more. You don't really, to get into 4 parks, you don't actually pay more. Like I paid for an 8-day pass, we paid $500.
Yeah.
For a
park hopper.
For a 3-day pass to Disneyland. Was it 3 or 4?
It was high 3, so almost 4.
No, for the 3-day pass, was it 3-day pass or 4-day pass?
Oh, it was a 4-day pass.
So 4-day pass, we paid $300.
Yeah.
We got into 2 parks, but for $500 and 8 nights, for 8 days, we got into 4 parks. Because we got park hopper, not the water park ride. It was winter over there. Why'd we get water?
Yeah.
But value for money, stuff like that, and they're bigger.
And having the dining plan, and we got discounts.
But yeah, not just that, just between the two parks, Disney World.
Yeah.
Disney World, in my opinion, is better. It feels better. It feels more Disney. Yeah. Sorry, Disneyland lovers. And I even had friends and family ask me, would I go back? If I was in LA, which I don't know why I'd ever be in LA again, because it's a whole nother subject. I'm sorry, I wasn't really a fan of it. Sorry, LA people. I don't know if I would go back. I can say I've done it, unless they get something amazing and different that Disney World doesn't have, and I really feel the need to go there. I'll just keep going. I'll keep flying straight on past LA or stopping in the airport and going straight on over to Orlando, Florida, because it is my favorite. So on that, I'm finally going to finish this video. Anything else you want to add? She's good. We're good. We can tell we might be a little biased, and like I said, I really think it goes by where you went first. You always seem to like a bit better.
Yeah. Which we still like both, but if we had to choose,
the only one for the rest of my life, it's Disney World all day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you guys liked our opinion. Like, you don't have to like it, but listen at least.
Hope you enjoyed hearing our opinion.
Yeah. Leave a comment below. Let me know which park you prefer. You might prefer Disneyland. Let me know why you prefer Disneyland, all the good things about it. Maybe I didn't get to do, I didn't get to do everything at Disneyland. I know that. I still haven't done everything at Disney World, goddamn. So I know there are things I haven't done, and there are things I could do, and you'd be like, Ali, you didn't even do this. No wonder why you had a crappy experience, or you went on a bad weekend. I did. It was really busy. So there could be reasons. But yeah, leave comments below. Let me know which ones you prefer. Let me know what your favorite rides are, favorite restaurants are, anything between the 2 parks. Maybe which one you went to first, because I'd love to see
if there was somebody
who went to like Disney World first and then went to Disneyland, but actually loves Disneyland better.
Yeah.
Because everybody that I've watched or talked to, they preferred the park they went to first.
Yeah.
So yeah, be interested to find out about that. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I don't know when I'm going to do another lot of Disney videos. Like I said, we didn't have Disney here. I have to fly elsewhere. Japan's not far away. Maybe we can go back. I can go back to Japan. I've been there.
I can go there for the first time.
But that's our closest Disney would be Disneyland, Japan. Tokyo. So maybe I can go there. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you like this video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye. Sorry it was so long though. Sorry. Like, I think we filmed for an hour. Oh, my legs are sore.